The question that all innovators ask is, what will they need next? Not what does the market want now, or what has it always wanted, or how are we set up? They don't ask that question. They say, what will they need next? So let me test you on this. In 1810, Napoleon gave a 1,000,000 franc prize to anyone who could find a way of preserving food for the army. And in 1810, a French inventor created tinned food. Revolution. So now, I give you tinned food. What will we need next? Tin opener. You guys are good at this. So, the tin opener. When do you reckon the tin opener was invented? It'd have to be like 1810 and 2 seconds, wouldn't it? I mean, it's just so freaking obvious. Would you like to guess when the tin opener was invented? 1858. There was a period of some 48 years where we didn't actually have a way of opening the tins. And my research has shown that what we used were axes, hacksaws, and shotguns. So, kids, dinner's on. I mean, that's the way that it was. And I'm convinced, I'm totally convinced, that for 48 years people said, really? Really? Are you sure there isn't a better way? Yeah, shut up, you're new here, keep soaring. This is the thing. We will go a very long time saying that's the way we've always done it. Look at everything we've talked about today. We're getting to the end of a lot of old techniques and a lot of old practices that have served us really well, but they will not serve us for another 100 years. Plus, in the meantime, all this other spooky stuff that the young people were telling us about, that's all coming. So guess what we need to do? We need to figure out what are we going to let go of and what are we going to pick up? And that's the conversation I want to have with you guys in a second. Here's 4 businesses that are quite different. One's an adult bookstore, there's a tax agent, there's a guy that sells auto parts, and here's an insurance guy. What have they got in common? They all used to be Pizza Huts. In fact, this is from my second favourite website called usetobeapizzahut.com. And local people actually post pictures of new businesses inside the carcasses of old Pizza Huts. And so it's like the drive-ins now. You look around and you're going to see a dead Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut figured out, you know what? The market will come to us. If we build it, they will come. Bah, wrong. So I guess the thing is here that change is hard. Yeah, that's fine. Not changing is bloody fatal. And by the way, that's my second favourite site. My first favourite site is catsthatlooklikehitler.com. If you haven't checked that out, made for the internet. Fantastic. So innovation sometimes is just adding something. You take one idea and another idea and you stick them together. Who in among us had thought about putting wheels on their luggage before you saw one in the real world? Who thought that idea? Really? It was just me. Oh, damn it. You know what? That's a $25 million industry. Just sticking wheels on suitcases. Really? That's how easy it could be, just by adding something. Sometimes innovation is just about turning something upside down, literally turning something upside down. That is an $11 million design, that little valve there, just by turning the bottle upside down, which, by the way, we have all done for centuries. We've been turning it upside down for ages. Paul Brown, the guy who invented it, said, someone should do something about this. And after a couple of years, his wife said, well, why isn't that somebody you? Okay, I'll do it. So adding something, taking something away, turning something upside down. Sometimes innovation's about finding a new use for an old thing. People don't tend to tell me what these blue pills are for, but they are incredible, I'm told. Right? Does anybody know what Viagra was invented for?
Lungs.
Sorry?
Lungs.
Actually, it was to produce greater circulation around the chest, through the lungs and the heart. That's what it was for. It was a medication to get greater circulation here. That's the whole idea. What they noticed during the clinical trials was old guys kept coming back and asking for refills. And that's when they think, damn it, there's something going on here. Everything on this list, and this is a partial list, everything on this list was invented for something completely different than what we use it for. Play-Doh was invented to get soot off wallpaper, until the guy who sunk his family fortune into it bumped into a kindy teacher. She said, our kids will eat this shit up, literally. Listerine was originally a foot wash, believe it or not. Splendor was an insecticide, and arguably still is. So sometimes you look at something and go, what is a new use for an old thing? Let's think about your grandparents. Were they resourceful? What would you say, yes or no? Were they more resourceful than, say, your kids' generation? Is that because they had more resources? No, it's the exact opposite. It's because they didn't have the resources. That's what forces us to invent. That's how it works. Okay, so when we think about targets for innovation, there are 3 basic targets that I'm used to. One is, let's try something brand new that we've never done before and we're not qualified for. That's a very risky thing to do. Or you might decide, is there something that we've always done well that we really should do a hell of a lot better? What would you say, yes or no? Are there things you say, we're good at that, we need to be great at that? What do you think, yes or no? And here's your Uncle Jace's favourite category. Something incredibly dumb that we have always done and we've never questioned and no one remembers why the hell we did it in the first place. Is there anything like that that we could change? What would you say, yes or no? Let me give you one of my favourites. 5-cent piece. We've all got them. You've probably got 100 of them at home. It's the most useless coin in the world. Parking machines don't take it. If I got all the 5 cents that we owned between us and took it down to the local parking machine here, how much parking would I get? How many seconds of parking would I get? 0. It's useless. What if I told you we mint more 5-cent coins than any other currency that we make? What if I told you that we mint 80 million fresh 5-cent pieces every year? Does that sound stupid to you? Hold that thought, because I haven't got to the point yet. What do you reckon it costs Australia to make a 5-cent piece? Depending on the price of nickel, it can cost us 7 cents to make a 5-cent piece. Does anyone think it's time we let go of this? Now, I don't remember my 80 million times table, but I'm thinking 80 million times 7 cents. That is a shitload of money that we could do something much more interesting with. What do you reckon? Yes or no? So see what we're doing in innovation. We're saying, what would you like to change? What needs to change around here? So just take a minute at the table. I want you to talk to your colleagues. Where do you think the industry needs to innovate? Where does it need change? Does it need brand new initiatives it's never tried? Does it simply have to improve what it does? Or does it have to stop doing dumb things that have never made sense? 2 minutes. Go. Talk. Think.